Alright, welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all. So it's Sunday afternoon, working that other night shift I was talking about. Again, training the new supervisor, which is going very well, thank you for asking. Should be alrighty. So we're going to go in and make the night and then take tomorrow off and go in and work, start back on day shifts Tuesday. So there we go. That's pretty much the plan. Woo. So today is the first Sunday of the month, and we decided over at Toast that the first Sunday of the month, and I hope anybody, maybe somebody else will remember it. Kind of like that. You know something? Hair thinning out, leave it longer where when I want to I can comb it back. This is what I get. I could do a mohawk. What do you think? I don't know. Anyway, so over at Toast, first Sunday, we decided it was going to be favorite lather catcher day. And there's no way to just use one lather catcher. They're all my favorites. They're some of my favorite razors. They rate right up there with the Micromatic, which is definitely a favorite. The 1912, just because, you know, it's a 1912. And, you know, so that and the lather catchers, they're all up on top of my list of favorite razors. Razor, blade's a blade. No doubt about that, but that doesn't mean you can't have favorites. Alrighty, so today for our lather catcher part of the shave, we're going to use the 1907-ish. Now I say 1907-ish because they made these spread of years, 3 or 4 years, I don't remember exactly. And I can't pin it down to an exact year because they all kind of look the same. It's got what I believe to be the original handle on it. You can see it's got some wear and tear on it. It's faded. I do have some reproduction handles that JR made that are actually very nice. But this one I've still got the original handle on it, and I think that's really neat. People are going to start hollering about the... how'd you like that fumble? That was pretty neat, huh? People are going to start hollering about how small the handle is, and they think that really means something or really makes it harder or anything like that. It really doesn't. So, you know, whatever. So it's also Sunday, which is Spicy Sunday. Thank you, Big D, for bringing that around. And so we're going to use the Vintage Old Spice. And of course, all this Vintage Old Spice soap, it doesn't really smell like Old Spice anymore. So what I do is I take my Old Spice aftershave and I put a few drops on the top of it, and then when I make my lather, it's going to smell like Old Spice, which I think is just kind of neat. Is that really a big important thing? No, scent has nothing to do with performance, but it is, you know, neat, and we do things sometimes around here just because it's a neat thing to do. That's just kind of how it goes. So anyway, so we're going to go load the 1909-ish here, or 1907-ish rather. And just as always, slide the blade in, slide it up to the stops, and then bring the tab up in the back. Now what you have to be careful on these old razors is that when you bring the tab up, you don't actually push the blade over the blade stops. And then you want to check and be sure that the blade's up behind the blade stop and the blade's centered. You have to be this tall to ride this right. No, just joking about that part. Anyway, so always be sure everything is adjusted good, and this one appears to be. It could be centered a little bit better, so we're going to ease off on that back, and we're going to adjust it just a little bit, even though everything is behind the stops like it should be. There we go. That's just one of the prices you pay for using the older razors. Now, I will say this, as I've said many times, it's a PSA type thing. If you do not have everything behind the blade stops, it's going to be an interesting shave. Trust me on this one. Not impossible. Because of course we've done shaves without blade guards on razors. I mean, you know. I've got a G8 over here that somebody had cut the guard off in the past. So, you know, an SE vet. Instead of a shave vet, an SE vet. And it gives really good close shaves, and I really like using it. So it is not a have to have as far as a guard bar goes. It's really not. But it is called a safety bar for a reason. So there you go. You know, so let's get the old face wiped down here. We shaved yesterday afternoon, so this is just a regular old days of growth, nothing spectacular. And that's when you can really tell how good a razor is by doing just that old regular old days. So we got a little bit of Old Spice on top of the soap here. That is not blooming before people start burning up my inbox with, oh, you're blooming soaps. No, blooming is when you're adding water to change the lather qualities. Or try to change the lather qualities. It don't need changing in the first place, I might add. No, we're not blooming the soap. We're just adding a little scent, and scenting is good. Because right now, my bathroom here smells like Old Spice. A very good smell of Old Spice. Anyway, this is a newer Old Spice. It's I don't know. It's in the plastic bottle instead of the actual glass bottle, whatever. I do have some still in the glass bottle. This is saying Canada, Toronto, on the thing. So anyway, it's not any way classic Old Spice or anything, but it smells like Old Spice to me. Now there are people that will tell you that they can smell the difference in the different versions. You know, the Old Spice that was made at different times in different places. If you're one of those people, bless your heart, more power to you. I am not one of those. The dollar store knockoff that I used to be able to get, to me, smells just as good as any of the other Old Spices, and I can't really tell a whole lot of difference between them. So, you know, I guess I don't have that sophisticated of a nose. Then again, I drink black coffee and drive a Ram. So, what do I know? Alrighty, but I know that it does smell good. Now, Old Spice soap is really neat just because it's Old Spice soap and it's vintage and they don't make it anymore. It's not particularly anything special as far as soaps go. Burma Shave, Colgate, Williams, all those soaps made around that time to me, hold on, are, you know, about the same. There's not a whole lot of difference in the quality of the soaps. They're soaps, they get the job done. They're slick. But it is neat using Old Spice soap in an Old Spice mug, and I enjoy it. Now, if you don't want to spend the money on the vintage stuff and you still want a good smelling Old Spice soap, that's easy to fix. Sterling Soap Company has a really nice Old Spice, and a lot of times I use that on Spicy Sunday, but today I'm using the vintage. But anyway, they've got a really nice scent of the Old Spice. Now, I haven't tried the aftershave. I'm sure their aftershaves are good too, because everything they do is good. But I have gotten the bath soap, and I've gotten the shave soap, and it's really, really, really neat to have a bath with Old Spice, and then get out and shave with Old Spice, and finish up with Old Spice. Talk about the old man feeling. There it is. And of course, the old man feeling is what we're shooting for a lot of times. At least I am. So, the 1907, like all the lather catchers, is just a wonderful shaving razor. And what makes them so wonderful, you know, simplicity. It's just a razor. They're not trying to do anything fancy. It does have some scroll work on the back of the head, so it looks nice. Although I would have to clean this one up so to see all that. But, you know, you run them like you run any other razor. It's all angle and pressure. But there's just something really neat. I've said it before, I'll end up saying it again, that they could have stopped making, you know, redesigning razors when they made these, and everybody would be, you know. You listen to this. I know there's people that say blade chatter is bad. That means it's not doing it. Not doing that. Well, what it's doing is it's a happy razor shaving. And that's what it is, regardless of anything else. If that's blade chatter, let it chatter. All right, back under here and go ahead and trim the goatee while we're at it. And I just realized I forgot to put the phone on airplane, so I hope nobody calls, because that tears the video up when that happens. It used to not matter because I did my videos on my little Samsung, but I've gotten to where I'm doing the videos on this phone, which is a 7 Plus, and I've got a 10R that I'm going to get here before long. I keep saying that, and I hadn't gotten over to get it. And then I'll probably use the 10R for stuff, and then just use this phone for this kind of stuff. We'll see what happens. But only reason I got an iPhone is because people keep giving them to me. I won't pay for them. I'll get a Samsung, get it for 1/3 of the price of what you're going to pay for an iPhone, and it'll do everything I want to do. I'm telling you, it will. And I don't help. But, you know, the way it goes. I realize Apple's an American company and Samsung's not, and yada, yada, yada. Well, you know, I always say I'm not going to shop at Walmart anymore, too, and that never works out. Can't stay away from it. But, you know, I like buy American, but when American is so overpriced, and we let them get away with it, that's the problem. but it's so overpriced. Yeah, I'm gonna have a Samsung. But anyway, here lately I've been using nothing but iPhones. Alrighty. Well, I tell you what, like I said, it's just a common soap. It's nothing spectacular about Old Spice soap other than the fact it's Old Spice soap. But it still gives a good shave. Vintage soaps, everybody needs. Go to eBay and look around and find you some vintage soap, whether it's Colgate, Williams, Old Spice, Burma Shave. One of those, you know, stuff that they don't make anymore, the kind of vintage stuff. Burma Shave is I put it on the list, but it's just very much was just a plain Jane soap. But it's still a vintage soap and it shaves good. Go find you some of that. Put a cake of vintage soap in your rotation and use it every once in a while. And just think about why you're using it, where it came from, and the people that used to use it, the people that used to make it. You know, people that built this country. People seem to forget here lately that about the people that built this country and made it what it is. Of course, there's plenty of people out there don't think this country is as great as it is. Got names for people like that, but you know, every once in a while a kid watches these videos, so I'm not going to share it. But anyway, here we go. The election's coming up, and this is all running up to that. Everybody get out and vote. We do not need a close election. We need a definitive election one way or the other. So get out and vote. That's my politics for today, boys and girls. That's about it. So look at there. Got us a great little shave. No irritation. These, you know, people challenge me every once in a while about the fact that, you know, blades are a little different. Some are smoother than others. Some are rougher than others. There's little bitty size variations. There's coating variations and everything. And they challenge me on when I say a blade's a blade and a razor's a razor. Razors have different length combs on them and different types of guard bars, so there's all these little minute differences. And I just wanted to say once again, for all the folks that are bringing that up, that what I'm saying is that all those little differences, all those little bitty things don't make a hill of beans. They don't. It's razor to razor, blade to blade. It all smooths out in the wash. That's just how it goes. Some good coffee today too, by the way. I said more of that French Market with chicory. That's not bad at all. I had a cup of Jamaican Blue Mountain blend the other day at work. Matter of fact, I still got some at work, and it's just a store brand, Rosh's, one of our local stores. And I'm not real big on Rosh's, but I did stop by there, but it's a little easier to get in and out of on my way to work. And anyway, it's Rosh's store brand, and it's the Jamaican Blue Mountain blend. And they had it on sale for like $4, and for the 12 pack of the Keurig. Yeah, I know there's a lot of wasted Keurig. I do, but I love my Keurig. But anyway, and that Blue Mountain, that Jamaican Blue Mountain blend, they call it, that was actually some pretty good stuff. It really was. Not as good as this good dark roast with chicory, but it is a good blend. I'll be having some more of that tonight too. So anyway, so while we've been talking, I've dried my blade off, I've cleaned my razor up. It can go back into the rack. That doesn't take very long, does it? And we're fixing to get ready to get out of here. So the brush today, as you saw, was a 1305 Smog. It's one of my favorite smaller bore brushes. I've got you know, some other brushes that are bigger bores that are good too. But as far as a smaller bore, that's one of my favorites. Jill, bless her heart, had a love-hate relationship with hers. She couldn't really get to love it. She didn't, you know, it works, and she didn't really hate it, but she couldn't really get it to work right. And so she didn't love it. Bless her heart. Oh boy. So there we go. Smelling Old Spice. I guess Old Spice is about my second oldest smelling scent. I think a Mint Skin Bracer is actually the oldest of the old smelling scent. Old Spice, you got Brute, you got Aqua Velva, all these. But yeah, I think Old Spice is like the second oldest smelling scent I have. Well, there we go. That's going to do us for today. Hope you're doing good. And I'm fixing to get ready and get out of here. Headed on into work for another night at the plant. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, Happy shaves to you. And if I don't see you back before Tuesday, get out and vote if you haven't already. Make it count, because your vote does count. Thanks.